finally the day that has been a long time in the making. Ladies and gentlemen, it is opening day for the Backyard Project Season 1. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex Murray, also known as AZ Axel, the OOTP guru. And today has been, as I just mentioned, a very long time in the making. And I am so glad that we are just finally here. There were many times where I did not know if we would ever see another Backyard Project opening day. I didn't have very many of those days, but, you know, there was always a moment where I was just kind of like, I don't know if this will ever happen again. I don't know if I could ever get this around and do all this work once again, but here we are with another opening day for the Backyard Project, and I am so stoked and ready for this. So if you guys are ready for this, I do believe we have some stuff to be able to do today. So, welcome everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is my personal channel. We'll be doing half of our Backyard Project streams. The other half will be done tomorrow and on Saturdays on the OOTP channel. And we're going to be seeing how these 2 days play out, because basically what we're looking at is one day is going to be us doing a whole bunch of simming and maybe watching games, and then the other day is supposed to be a review day, allowing you guys to be able to see all of the results, look at your players more minutely, and then also either watch a highlighted game or watch highlights from all of the games, and just basically have a chance for you guys to ask questions and have questions answered. So basically there's a whole lot of stuff that I have to figure out in the next, like, basically week or so to be able to make sure that we have these all kind of set in stone to where we want them to be. But for now, if you guys are all set and ready for this, I'm all set and ready for this. Let's do this. All right. So let me get everything set up. Maybe make sure that I know which game we are doing. As noted in the Discord, you guys were allowed to vote on the game that you wanted to have us watch tonight, because we're going to watch one of these opening day games. And I'm just going to go ahead and call it at this point. This has been the same vote tally for about the last 4 or 5 hours at this point. The Jolly Jazz and the Apollos, the adorable Apollos, have taken the vote with 15 and 14 votes each. So 29 votes to watch the Jolly Jazz and Jacob deGrom go up against the adorable Apollos and Bruce Springsteen. So this will be a fun little matchup. I hope that it'll be as much fun for you guys as it is for me. We are also going to be not watching, but we're also going to be live quick simming all of the other games over the course of the opening day ceremony. So don't worry if you feel like as if we're not going to cover your team. Do not worry. We will cover your team just fine. All right. I'm going to be flipped on this screen, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and get everything set up for the games here. And I've got to get it all set up and ready to go. And I haven't even tested audio on this stuff, so let's hope and pray that it's not too bad for all you guys. But welcome to opening day! The TBVL News opening day. The baseball fans call to action. Play ball. Going to be heard across the country, although technically if we were considering this a Backyard Project, it would be all across the city. So maybe a county, not a country, maybe that's more excusable than anything else at this point. And thank you as well, everybody who has been doing all of the follows and even the subscriptions. Thank you so much for doing all of that. I probably should actually be looking through all of these, because it's been very important for me to make sure I do that. But for everyone who has done the subscriptions, I know Dishnet, you were on there. Bull Cubs, Sergeant Mushroom, thank you so much for the subscriptions. Although not necessary, but greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. And also Gamba, Magus, for your raid as well. Thank you so much. There will be quite a few raids coming in and out, and we will actually be sending people out as well over the course of tonight's evening, because we will be unfortunately going over the weekly showdown with Dishnet. So we will be sending you viewers Dishnet as we get further and further into the evening. So if you guys want to go watch the Dishnet stream when it gets started, I have absolutely no problem with you going and doing that. That's absolutely why we have all of these affiliates. And Ukraine as well, thank you so much for the subscription as well. I'm sorry I missed you. But we're going to be having people coming in and out. I know that the Fluffy Kitty Ninjas show is also going live, so if you guys like custom leagues, they are a very similar league, just similar to the Backyard Project, and they are also a very fun watch as well. So have us both up if you can. Give us both some of those viewers at this point, and make sure you can enjoy both of those streams, because they're going through playoffs. And we're doing opening day, so a couple of big streams for a couple of us right now. Definitely worth watching both of us if you have the memory on your computer to be able to have 2 tabs open for 2 different streams. But let's get started, shall we? I'm so pumped for this. I am so pumped for this. All right, opening day. Opening day is going to be between the coyotes and the squirrels, the frogs and the goats, the armadillos and the koalas, the dominating ducks and the crazy cluckers. It's all coming back to me now. I'm used to doing this all over again. The giants and the nobles pairing off against each other in the ending of the Neo's Arc games. And then, of course, for Sunny Day, we'll be seeing the ninjas and pioneers, the admirals and cacti, the reapers and whistlers, the knockout kings and the courageous captains. And our game of the day is going to be the adorable Apollos versus the jolly Jazz. Oh, and I'm out of water. I'm going to get some water here in a second. But regardless, we are actually going to be quick simming or quick playing all of the games that we're not going to be watching directly. So we will review these games after we quick sim them, so you guys will get all of the details. And we'll also be posting. I still need to make sure the bot's working correctly, so we'll see if it's working today, or if it's not, it'll be up and running pretty soon. But we are going to be having this league posting, hopefully, game recaps, team scores, and everything straight into our Discord. So you guys will get not only recaps in the finals and highlights channel, but also team messages will be sent into the team Discord channels as well. So if you're following a particular team, or if you just want to see a particular team's messages or whatnot, you should be seeing those as we get this stuff set up as well. I haven't gotten it all the way set up yet, so it's still being completed. But for now, it is something to look forward to in the future. Let's see. You got an Alex Ryder ad on the Alex Murray stream. Good grief. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's going to make the life of you guys doing the writers a whole lot easier, because you guys are going to be able to see everything. We're also going to have the league hosted on Stats Plus to be able to give you guys access to all of the information, from the reports to the box scores, the game logs, the player information. We will be trying to keep that updated daily. At least whenever we sim, we'll try to keep them up to date as soon as we possibly can, so that way you guys have all the access that you need to be able to see everything about the league. All right? All right. If you guys are all set, I'm all set. My microphone's a little bit hot. Hold on one second. There, that's probably a little bit better. That way I'm not blowing your guys' eardrums out at this point, since I get a little excited when I get to do streams like this. But anywho, let's start simming some games. I can't even really believe that we're at this point already, but we are. Let's do some baseball games, folks. Curious Coyotes, Courtney Michelle, the Aces, against the Super Squirrels and Shohei Ohtani, the two-way player. Let us see how this game goes. And game number 1 of the Backyard Project Season 1 will go to the Curious Coyotes. The Squirrels get a solo homer for Fernando Tatis in the 9th inning, but Louis gets the save. It'll be a 2-1 victory for the Curious Coyotes as they silence the Super Squirrels for 3 hits. They only get 4. In return, Ohtani and Michelle have the Aces duel. Michelle going 8 1/3 inning, 9 strikeouts. And it looked like it was very low scoring all the way through till the 7th inning. So a great start for both squads. If you're looking for good pitching results, this is what you're looking for. Not a lot of hits on both sides. A couple of walks. Couple of stolen bases for the Curious Coyotes. Unknown and Quan getting on the base paths and causing havoc already. That's a good sign for them. Michelle, again, just though dominating on the mound for her side of the Aces matchup right here. Ohtani went 6 2/3 and only gave up 1 run. And then, unfortunately, Sturgis gave up a run. Was that caused by the error? I bet you there was a runner left on because of an error, potentially by Roland. So we'll have to take a look at that down the road. But not a bad pitching outing from Ohtani. I think a lot of people will chalk this up as a win for both teams at this point, because you want to see this kind of stuff. Ohtani not able to hit because of the DH, so we'll see if the Super Squirrels can get some more offense rolling on their next game with him in the lineup instead of, I'm assuming it would be Frankie Hawley, who played right field. 10 strikeouts compared to 8. Super Squirrels definitely had the more strikeouts prone team at this point, but they did have the solo homer from Tatis Jr. off Michelle in the 9th inning. So Michelle almost went the complete game at this point, throwing 92 pitches before giving way to Luann Louie, who only needed 5 to complete the game. So a good start for both squads. I would consider that a good start for both squads. You have your aces. You got to make sure they're doing a good job. I'm expecting a lot more higher scoring games than a 2-1 victory. So that's a good sign. All right. The Friendly Frogs and the Gnarly Goats face off against each other today. Ashley Weber, Corbin Burns. The aces for both squads. Advantage to the Goats in this one, definitely. Burns is a extremely good pitcher, as we have seen in his drafting, and all of his projections have looked very, very solid. So we'll see what happens here. And the Friendly Frogs and the Gnarly Goats. And it will go to the Gnarly Goats, as Corbin Burns only manages 7 1/3 inning, but has 11 strikeouts, 3 hits given up, and no walks. So the Friendly Goats can't get any offense started against Corbin Burns or the Goats in general, as they ended up keeping a 2-0 lead all the way until the 8th inning, where they racked on 3 more to take the 5-0 victory. 1 home run to Whitney Singh off of Ashley Weber in the first. That was a 2-run homer. And then just a couple of extra runs scored in the bottom of the 8th for the Goats was all they needed. They only had 5 hits, by the way. 3 walks, my apologies. And then 2 errors on the Frogs. None of them resulting in any unearned runs, but not a good sign if you're looking for a clean baseball approach here from the Friendly Frogs. Burns only managed to go 7 1/3. Yes, only 7 1/3. It was still a pretty strong performance, but he did have to throw 90 pitches to get through 7 1/3. So he wasn't exactly as efficient as Michelle was in her first start of the season. But still a very good outing. Still a very solid, strong outing for Corbin Burns, taking up the win here. Hellerman gets the save. That double duo of Hellerman and Burns is going to win the Goats a lot of baseball games, folks. That is pretty much one of the best closers matching up with one of the best starters. And if they can do that 9 times out of their 18 games, oof. These Goats are going to be good. It's going to be a good squad. It's going to be a really good squad. The Astounding Armadillos up against the Kind Koalas. This is Trevor Rogers versus Grace Tipton. And both aces going off today, being able to see what they can perform and do. And the winner, this is a much more offensive-derived game, as the Astounding Armadillos will take it 8-5. Rogers still gets the win after trying to get through, I believe, at least 5 innings. We'll have to take a look and see about this one. So Tipton only goes 4 2/3. Rogers manages to go into the 6th inning and then gives way to Murray and Holzman to be able to close out the game. So the Astounding Armadillos and their fairly decent bullpen do come through and keep the game in their favor. Base running all over the place. Badu, 2 stolen bases. Felgate, 2 stolen bases. Mahoney has a stolen base. So Perez's defense, not enough to keep the base runners off. The hold runners of Tipton, not very good. Coleman, 47, and Steele, 64. So only time will tell if the base runners got to Tipton early in this game and managed to get in scoring position. And, the couple of homers for Randolph. Jake Randolph hitting a 2-run shot in the 4th inning. And then Harry Wells managing to hit a solo homer off of Coleman in the 7th. And then, of course, Perez hitting the 3-run bomb off of Rogers in the 5th. So that was the comeback inning for the Koalas as they tried to come back. But they will fall 8-5. 12 hits to 9. An error on each side. Couple double plays to go around. Felgate, Richard Blast getting some errors. I think that's both the shortstops. No, Felgate's the third baseman for the astounding Armadillos. Not too bad of a performance from both squads. I think Tipton will have much better performances down the road. Grace is definitely an all-or-nothing pitcher when it comes to the ground balls. So we'll see what happens as we go down the road. Yeah, not a bad performance from me. I'm very happy about 1 2/3 of an innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit given up. That's exactly what I was hoping from my main character. So we'll see if Alex Murray can keep up the strong performance as the setup man for the Armadillos. They've got a good chance this year, too. The dominating Ducks are going up against the crazy Cluckers. Max Scherzer versus Jay Green. Now, if this was last year's version of Jay Green, the pitching stats would be even better than this. But they have been reduced this season, so I don't know. I would give the Ducks an advantage in this game, but we will see. No, it's not break time yet, Stream Elements. Come on. Good grief. So we'll see who gets the advantage in this game right here. But anywho, Max Scherzer, Jay Green, the Ducks versus the Cluckers. And the winner is going to be the Ducks with the comeback victory in the top of the 9th inning. Delgado gets the win, so Tom Delgado comes out strong in his first performance for the dominating Ducks. And we did get a home run from Boom Boom McBroom for the Ducks in this ballgame. Was that the deciding hit? Hold on, I gotta know. Was that like the deciding? No, that was in the 2nd inning. So a solo homer for Boom Boom McBroom at this point, and the Quackers defeat the Cluckers. Yes, at this point, a 4-3 nail biter all the way till the 9th, and the opportunity for the save for Sally Dobbs goes awry as she gives up the 2 runs, giving up the game after a very solid performance from Jay Green. Max Scherzer has a decent performance, doesn't quite get the strikeouts where he'd like them, only 5 through 6 2/3 of an innings pitched, had to go 107 pitches, although Jay Green coming in at 109. So, a very interesting ball game right here for both sides. And we'll see how this fares down the road. Home runs going again. Boom Boom McBroom on the dominating Ducks side. And then, of course, Hannah Peavy and I believe that's Fred Baker. Yeah, Fred Baker, the catcher for the Crazy Cluckers, getting a home run. Interesting. Stolen bases for Boom Boom. Boom Boom doing it all. Stealing with a 33? Excuse me. Not entirely sure how he managed to get the stolen base, unless it was just handed to him on a silver platter. Good grief. But Acuna Jr. trying to get a stolen base in there as well. Kawaguchi got caught stealing. So a good job by Yorktown and the pitching staff from the Ducks to be able to keep Vicky Kawaguchi grounded and not getting her stolen base totals going up so far this season. Congratulations about that. So another very close, tight game here between the Ducks and Cluckers as we continue our opening day ceremonies. And again, a 4-3 victory for the Ducks coming back in the 9th inning. All right. The comparison to Jay Green is Leah Wayne and her graceful Giants going up against the Nice Nobles and Boogers McGee. Big moment here for a lot of players. What did Boom Boom do today? Boom Boom did everything. Boom Boom had a stolen base, which I think is the most amazing part, but he did knock in a solo home run. A solo home run for Boom Boom McBroom, so Ryan's off to a great start already. It's a good time to be a dominating Ducks fan as they took that game 4-3. All right, the Giants versus the Nobles. Leah Wayne versus Boogers McGee up next. And with this game, it will go to the graceful Giants. Leah Wayne pitches. Is this a complete game? No, it's not a complete game. How many innings did she manage to go? 7 innings for Leah Wayne before giving way to Old McDonald, who got the save. Boogers McGee had a pretty good outing, giving up only 1 run, but the offense couldn't do anything against the Graceful Giants and Leah Wayne, as they will take this one 3-0, 10 hits to 2. The Nobles just no offense to speak of. All of that offense and nothing to show for it. So a big win for the Graceful Giants here. You really want to see Leah Wayne get off to a good start. Good 2 stolen bases from Juan Soto, of all people. I don't remember him being, well, he can run the bases a little bit. Juan Soto gets 2 stolen bases. Kathy Wolf and Pseudonym do get caught trying to take bags against Huey Lewis. So a couple of stolen bases and a couple of caught stealing for the Giants. So they were aggressive with their 10 people on base, including 4 more with the walks. But not too bad at this point between the Giants and Nobles, and the Aces coming out strong like the Aces that I was expecting them to be. So, yeah, low-scoring games. I'm not entirely sure if I'm expecting more of this or if the number 2 pitchers are just going to get obliterated. But the Aces definitely coming through here in opening day. Everyone with a lot of adrenaline right now. The Nimble Ninjas and Pleasant Pioneers start off our Sunny Day League games at this point. Sydney Weber versus Maria Luna. Let's go ahead and see who will win this matchup. And it's going to be the Pleasant Pioneers taking it over the Nimble Ninjas. So this is the team that has Pablo Sanchez. And Pablo gets the double, but the rest of the team just can't make much out of Maria Luna and the almost perfect relief staff from the Pleasant Pioneers. Wow, Luna came out strong. 10 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched. They had hit batsmen. They had 4 walks, but only 4 hits given up from the Pleasant Pioneers pitching staff, and Maria Luna was lights out. Absolutely lights out at this point. Even striking out Pablo Sanchez. Wow. 3 walks to what's the first name here? Willie Hayes. So not bad for Willie Hayes, getting that OBP up there at this point. Wander Franco having the 2 hits for the Pioneers. Vlad Guerrero Jr. getting 2 strikeouts and an 0-for-4 performance. Not what you want to see at this point. But the Pioneers in their 7 hits will take down the Nimble Ninjas on a shared shutout. Woof! That is impressive. As much as it is a bad sign for the Nimble Ninjas, I am appreciative of seeing Robert Ashburn used for an inning and 2/3 of scoreless baseball, as Dishnet just mentioned. Very, very nicely done right about there. And yes, 15 strikeouts for the Pioneers. That is a problem the Ninjas are going to have to resolve, because you cannot strike out 15 times in a ball game and expect to do well. That is a bad situation. Woof. So, yes. Dogberry, there is 1 day off in between games, and the way it works is that relievers have just enough time to all be relieved and refreshed and ready to go, but starters take about 2 to 3 days to be able to start again, so it's just perfectly spaced enough that the AI will never throw the same starter twice in the same week, but it can throw the same relievers every single week. So unfortunately, a bad performance for the Nimble Ninjas. They've got some stuff to fix, but at the same time, it was really just 1 bad inning, and it was really just a solo homer and a run-scoring triple that seemed to really be the big moments that Weber just couldn't keep going. And the Pioneers, I don't want to say they sneak one by the Ninjas, but because they are the Ninjas, they snuck one by them. The Angry Admirals and Bully McGuire up against the Clobbering Cacti and Tim Gross, or Grossy. The Angry Admirals looking for a good start from their number 1 pitcher right here as they go up against the Clobbering Cacti. Let's see who wins this matchup, and if we have maybe some more offense, maybe? We've seen a lot of pitching staffs today, guys. It's going to be a 5-2 victory for the Angry Admirals. Isaiah Patterson, oh dear. If he starts off and has a good season, the Angry Admirals are going to be in good hands. A 5-2 victory. Let's start with the pitching staff really fast. Tim Gross gets out-dueled by Bully McGuire. The Bully on the mound has 6 strikeouts, gives up 2 home runs to both RB Meats and this is Steely McBeam, the outfield and first base combo for the Clobbering Cacti. But still, a very good outing from McGuire at this point, keeping the ball in relatively good shape. He did hit a batter, unfortunately, as did Littles on the Cacti's side. But the 5 runs given up, 4 earned from Tim Gross. Just too much to get away from at this point. And Bosworth comes in for the inning and 2/3 save to complete the ball game at this point. Very nicely done. Let's talk about the offense. So, we have good and we have bad. The bad is 3 errors for the Admirals. McNichol has 2 over at shortstop, so not a good showing for their starting shortstop at this point. But Thomas also having an error behind the dish. Not sure what to think about that. But you have 4 home runs. Isaiah Patterson, the first base prospect for the Admirals, coming out swinging for game number 1 here. 2 solo shots in the 2nd and 5th innings. Patterson all over Tim Gross on the mound at this point. There was no stopping him when he had to come up to bat. McLovin had a homer as well in the 5th inning, and then Hayes hitting a home run in the 4th inning as well. The Cacti had a stolen base for username unavailable, so they were able to steal off of the ridiculous arm of Thomas. So I don't know how on earth they managed to do that. Oh, that's why. Anywho, they were able to get 1 stolen base, and that was off of their hit by pitch, so that was probably one of the only little dips in McGuire's evening besides the 2 solo home runs. The hit by pitch followed up by the stolen base put a runner on second base for free. Gotta watch out for that, in case that becomes a problem down the road. But the 2 home runs for the Clobbering Cacti were all they really could muster, as they only had 4 hits and 1 walk over the course of the evening. Both teams had 9 strikeouts. So a good, solid performance from the Admirals. They have some stuff to work on, but a good, strong performance regardless. And we'll definitely have to watch out for some of that stuff. Yes, DishNet will be streaming tonight. We will try to alert you guys when he gets started, so if you want to go watch him as well, or even just go watch him, that's absolutely fine. We're going to be here all evening, handling opening day. So I understand if you guys have other streams you want to watch, go do it, please. We have so many affiliates streaming this evening. I absolutely understand if you guys have, at the least, multiple tabs open. It's not a problem. The Rebellious Reapers are up against the Witty Whistlers, Earl Abbott versus Kenny Kawaguchi. And, oh yeah, and Yuka too. Yuka's also streaming as well, guys. So there's lots of people to pick from this evening if you have choices of streams. You should be well entertained today. Again, Earl Abbott, Kenny Kawaguchi, opening day for the Reapers and Whistlers. And the winner of this matchup is going to be... It's going to be the Rebellious Reapers taking down the Witty Whistlers, Ralphie Beans and Tim Anderson. Anderson with 2 home runs. Okay, Kawaguchi gives up the 2 homers against himself for the Rebellious Reapers at this point. And Earl Abbott goes 8 strong, quality start innings. Player of the game goes to Tim Anderson, of course, hitting the 2 home runs. The 2-run homer off of Nancy Chin in the 8th, and of course the solo shot off of Kawaguchi in the 1st. So Tim Anderson off to a good start for the Rebellious Reapers. Veronica Lee had 2 stolen bases, so a good, solid outing from the Rebellious Reapers outside of the balk for Abbott. Okay, so we did have a balk at this point, but the Rebellious Reapers, otherwise a clean game. Let's talk about the Witty Whistlers really fast. Kawaguchi, 7 innings, 4 runs. Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, you'll take that from your ace. Nancy Chin giving up 2 runs on the solo homer, on the 2-run shot, sorry. Probably gave up something else before that. Not sure if it was on an error. It might have been on an error by Trent Sizemore, the catcher, on a passed ball as well. Sizemore not having a good start for his time with the Whistlers. But the Whistlers did have a bunch of stolen bases, Big Basketball having the steal, and Exley also getting in on the stolen base action. Sizemore getting caught, so definitely not the day for Sizemore, although he did have the 2 hits, so he was being aggressive, just maybe too aggressive. Maybe a little bit too aggressive at this point. But regardless, Tim Anderson was the player of the day, definitely the star. 2 for 4 performance, 3 RBIs, 2 home runs. Tim Anderson looking absolutely fly in the purple uniforms. Gets off to a great start for the regular season for the Reapers as they take game number 1 against the Whistlers. The Knockout Kings are up next against the Courageous Captains. This is going to be Benjamin Abenduct against Angela Del Vecchio. Woo! You couldn't have asked for a harder matchup. Okay, I'm sorry, you could have. It could have been Jacob deGrom. That's true. But you really can't ask for a tougher competitor than Angela Del Vecchio. This is going to be a low-scoring game for at least one of these teams. At the least, one of these teams is going to have a very low-scoring game. Let us see who wins. Abenduct versus Del Vecchio, and the winner is going to be the Courageous Courageous Captains as they take it 3-2. So it was very close all the way to the end as the Knockout Kings threatened to come back in the 9th inning. Whoops, I didn't want the highlight reel. Hold on one second. No. I wanted the box score. Thank you. No, not the Ducks. That one. 3-2 victory for the Captains, and they take down the Kings barely, and they even got out hit 9-5. Both teams have 1 error each, so a close matchup across the board as both sides had very good performances. Couple of errors by both squads, not too bad. The 1 home run given up by Betty Houston, and that was to the Dinosaur, also known as the best dinosaur at this point. Abenduct only managed to go 5 2/3 of an innings pitched and threw 126 pitches. So the pitching staffs on both sides were pushed. A hit batsman to Abenduct, 2 wild pitches for Angela Del Vecchio, as maybe not the best game in the world for both squads at this point. But yes, Menard gunning a person at home out, so there was an outfield assist for the Captains, so they even kept that 1-run lead because of an outfield assist. So congratulations to Menard. Congratulations to Big Unit Babs. Congratulations. Good job right about there. So a big win right here for the Courageous Captains. They, not exactly the dominating win I was hoping for, but still good enough to be able to come away with a victory over a very solid performance from the Knockout Kings. So we'll have to see how this goes down the road for both teams. Definitely going to be interesting. Interesting. And last but not least, our game of the day. Game of the day is going to be the Adorable Apollos versus the Jolly Jazz. We are going to watch this game because we are very interested in seeing how this game goes. Let me make sure that we are all set for this. We are all set for this. All right, let's get started. Really quickly, I'm going to get some water because I need some water to do this. We are using designated hitter. No warm-up rules. Everybody is set to be controlled by the AI. We're going to be playing at Lindquist Field, home of the Jazz. And let me know if the audio sounded a little bit too quiet when we were in that last test phase. I want to make sure it's not going to be too noisy, but we'll see about that as well. And then that can be all yeses. So let's go ahead and jump right in after I get some water here, and we'll get started with our game of the day. I will be right back. All right, chair stream is over. Let's get started. We're going to be seeing the Adorable Apollos versus the Jolly Jazz in today's game of the day. We're going to be seeing Vidal Valor, the first baseman, Pete Wheeler, the center fielder, Debbie Nagasawa over in left, Stan Olofsson over at short, Cheese the Man at DH, Dean Danger over at second, Joe Bowden over at third, Pablo Pierre at right field, and Mariana Ralph at catcher, and Bruce Springsteen at the pitching mound for the Adorable Apollos. And flanking opposite them, the Jolly Jazz, Byron Buxton, put into the leadoff spot. We'll see if that will actually be a good idea or not. This is going to be something they're going to be testing all the way through the regular season, is what order do they need to put their players in and what works best for them. Jocinda Smith, first baseman, going to be batting second. Plum Smuggler, the catcher, batting third because of the very good contact ability. Mick Shipman is going to be their number 4 hitter, their left fielder with the 90 power overall. Going to be trying to put the ball over the outfield wall. CJ Crone is their DH, originally their first baseman, but they wanted Jocinda at first with her good defense. CJ Crone will take the DH position for now. Norman Corman is going to be their second baseman. Pickles P. Poffenberger is their third baseman. Jonathan Jameson is their right fielder, with their shortstop being Henry Damour. And last but not least, the person we're all here to see, Jacob deGrom, the 33-year-old, will be starting for the Jolly Jazz. DeGrominator, as he is referred to, looking for his first start in the Backyard Project. And let's just jump right into it, shall we, folks? Let's get started. Welcome, everybody, to Lindquist Field, home of the Jolly Jazz. Let me make sure I've got my views set up here correctly. I would very much like to have wide set up for the start, if you don't mind. And then if we want to, let me take a look and see about action cams and this. That should be all set. We should be all set and ready to go. All right. The Apollos against the Jolly Jazz at the Jolly Jazz. Let's get started, shall we? First at bat is going to be Vidal Valor, the left-handed batting first baseman for the Apollos, up against Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom will be getting his first start ever in the Backyard Project this year. Gonna be a little bit of a miles-per-hour wind coming in from center field as he strikes out Valor. Swung on and foul tip, but caught. Smuggler does a good job keeping that one in the mitt, and deGrom will get his first ever strikeout in the Backyard Project. Congratulations to him. Pete Wheeler, also known as Wheelie, up next. This guy can bunt, this guy can hit, and this guy can steal. First pitch, hacking, he pops it up on the infield. Third baseman comes over and makes the play, and that'll be the second out of the inning as Poffenberger gets that ball as he was playing in case Pete wanted to take a bunt attempt right there. Also, let me know if the audio is way too quiet, because it is very quiet on my end. And I just want to make sure it's not too bad. So let me know if it's too quiet. I might bump it up a little bit if I can. I don't know if I actually can right now. Debbie Nagasawa up next. The right-handed batting left fielder has Jacob deGrom with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Jacob deGrom, first pitch, and she pokes it down the left field line. This is going to be trouble. It's going to be a double. Nagasawa heads in towards second and will be up for a stand-up double. So deGrom gives up his first hit. Audio is perfect right now. Perfect. Good. That's what I want to hear. All right. Debbie Nagasawa gets a 2-out double against deGrom. And that'll bring Stan Olofsson up with a chance to score a run here in the top of the first. Jacob deGrom has an 0-2 pitch. This goes out towards center. Buxton coming in, makes the grab. A great sliding catch head first by Buxton, and that saves a run for the Jolly Jazz. Well done right there. That is why they picked Buxton in the first place. For those plays right about there. Woo! Woo! There you go. Get some, Buxton. Speaking of Buxton, he's going to be up first here in the bottom of the first inning. Springsteen up to pitch here in the bottom of the half. The Apollo's starting pitcher is a left-handed pitching ace pitcher with excellent control, decent enough movement. The stuff leaves a little bit to be desired, but we'll see how that control manages to play out over the course of this game. First up is Byron Buxton, the center fielder who just made the amazing catch. He bunts it back to the pitcher's mound, trying to get on first base. Here comes a throw from Springsteen, and he's safe! Buxton doesn't have the best bunt in the world, but his speed takes over, getting the play in center field, and now the leadoff infield bunt single puts him on at first with Mariana Ralph behind the dish of only 41 arm. Springsteen, not exactly the most elite holding of runners, and Byron can run, so let's watch Byron run, shall we? First pitch coming on the way. Here goes Buxton, instantly off and instantly in. Buxton with his first steal of the season, just like you wrote it up. And Springsteen has a runner on second before he's even thrown 3 pitches. That's not a good sign for Apollos fans. This is exactly how the Jazz wrote it up. Byron bunts, Byron steals, Jocinda hits. That's how it goes. Jocinda now with an 0-1 pitch, 0-2 pitch on the way. And she's going to strike out. A good comeback K there for Springsteen. And he will get the first out of the inning against Jocinda Smith. Good comeback. Good comeback. Plum Smuggler up next. Another good contact hitter up against Bruce Springsteen. First pitch, hacking. Nope, running to third base is... Byron Buxton has taken third, and no one was expecting that one right there. Buxton steals third, puts himself in a sacrifice fly position now. Springsteen kind of upset on the mound. Ralph upset behind the dish. Everybody upset everywhere. And Buxton's all grins over at third base, chuckling to himself. It's a great day to be Byron Buxton, folks. Plum Smuggler has the 1-0 pitch on the way from Springsteen. Over to third base, leaping but not making the grab is the third baseman, and it'll be a single. An RBI single for Plum Smuggler, and the Jazz take the 1-0 lead. You didn't have to steal home because Plum Smuggler can pluck little singles like that right over the pretty decent defense that Joe Bowden can do at third base. Up next is going to be Mick Shipman. This is going to be a very high power hitting, what is he, left fielder? Yeah, left fielder for the Jolly Jazz. Here in the bottom of the first, runner on first base, a 1-2 pitch on the way from Springsteen. Over towards the right field area, coming out to left, second baseman, makes the grab. And Danger makes it look easy over there at second. CJ Cron, potentially the last person here in the bottom of the first. Springsteen already at 12 pitches. CJ Cron bats from the right side. The DH for the Jolly Jazz. Runner on first base takes their lead. And the 0-2 pitch on the way from Springsteen. Grounded over to the shortstop. Tough play for the shortstop. Not even going to make the throw. It was a slow roller, and Olofsson just was playing so deep he couldn't even get to the ball in time. And that 51 defense gonna come back to bite him as he can't even make the throw over, and CJ Cron, even with the very slow speed, is able to beat out the infield single. So not only does speed kill Dogberry, but poor defense kills as well. So the inning will continue for Norman Corman and the Jolly Jazz as they have runners on first and second, 2 men down. Springsteen up to 15 pitches. He's gonna have a full count to Corman. Here's the pitch. He gets him to fly out towards right field. Down the line it goes. In comes the right fielder. Makes the grab. And Pierre will make the end of the inning as we go to the top of the second. It's 1-0 Jolly Jazz. She's the man up first against Jacob deGrom. deGrom had a pretty solid first inning, giving up the double, but then coming back out of it without giving up any runs. Cheese has got a 1-2 pitch on the way, grounds it over to the shortstop. They were playing in the pull. They did a good job, and they get him out. Demur makes it look easy as they had him shifted right up the middle at this point, and his 85 defense at shortstop comes into play right there, getting Cheese the man out. Dean Danger up next, made the play in the bottom of the first inning. The Jazz looking for a quick inning here. 2-2 pitch on the way. This one's flied out towards right. It's going to be another extra base hit off of deGrom. And Dean Danger's going to go sliding into second base with a 1-out double. Jameson could only go back to the wall as it went right over his head. That was a line shot from the bat of Dean Danger, putting himself in scoring position for Joe Bowden now. Joe Bowden up to bat, the right-handed batting third baseman for the Apollos. They're looking to answer from the first inning when they give up that 1 run. First pitch swinging is Bowden out towards center. Buxton makes the grab and fires it back in to the... No one at short, but okay, someone's at short. Okay, there we go. The shortstop had to teleport over and make the grab, or teleport the ball, I guess, at this point. But Buxton runs in, makes the grab makes it look easy, and that'll be the second out of the inning. I'll bet you if they don't, they'll come back against the bullpen. This is going to be interesting, is how much can deGrom pitch and how long. 21 pitches so far. Pablo Pierre, left-handed batting right fielder, steps in for the Apollos. 2 men down. He's going to fly it out towards center. Lots of fly balls to center field at this point as Buxton ranges over to his left a little bit, makes the grab, and that'll retire the side. We'll head to the bottom of the second, as that was a 101 mile per hour fastball, by the way, folks, from Jacob deGrom. Bruce Springsteen's not going to be hitting 101, maybe 91 or 92 or 93, as Pickles P. Poffenberger steps up to bat. The switch hitting third baseman is going to be coming from the right side against Springsteen at this point. Springsteen has a 2-2 pitch on the way, and he gets him to strike out. deGrom hasn't gotten the strikeouts, but Springsteen has for some reason, as he gets him on a 91 mile per hour fastball up and out of the zone. Jonathan Jameson up next, right fielder for the Jolly Jazz. Springsteen's got a full count pitch on the way. He's going to bloop it out towards right. That might fall. In comes the right fielder. It is going to fall. Right fielder can't make the grab, as it was just in between the second baseman and right fielder, and that will put Jonathan Jameson over at first base. Decent speed over at first. Let's see if they decide to do some action here with Henry Demur up to bat. This is the number 9 hitter for the Jolly Jazz. Up next is Buxton. I don't know if he'll be able to bunt with a runner on first base, but let's find out. Pablo Pierre just couldn't get in to make that play fast enough. Springsteen up against Henry Demur. And the 1-0 pitch is grounded over to first. Over to second they go. Back. Nope, they break it up at second base. Decent job by Jameson to be able to at least get the double play broken up. Demur was able to speed down the first base line, and no throw was given. So it'll be up to Buxton to be able to do something with a runner on first base here in the bottom of the second. 2 men down against Springsteen. Springsteen has the 1-2 pitch on the way, and Buxton will fly it out towards center. Right off the end of the bat, it looks like. Center fielder's there, makes the grab, and that will retire the side. So Pete Wheeler and Byron Buxton, some pretty decent center fielders in this matchup right about here. Let's see if they can get something started, as we'll be back around to the top of the order after Mariana Ralph here. Jacob deGrom, third inning we go against Mariana Ralph and the Apollos offense. 2-2 pitch on the way. That's a strike 3 on a 98 mile an hour fastball out over the plate. That was a little bit off the plate, I imagine, actually, but good pitch from deGrom, and that's strikeout number 2. Vidal Valor up next. 31 pitches for deGrom here in the top of the third inning. A 1-1 pitch on the way. Grounded over toward the second baseman. Weakly hit. Over to first they go, and that will retire the valorous person. Pete Wheeler up next, center fielder for the Apollos. Good chance for him to be looking for a bunt here, or to be able to get a double, maybe get some of those wheels started at this point. They could really use that to counter the Byron Buxton bunt, stolen base, get me home on a single approach. Pete Wheeler's got a 1-2 pitch on the way from Jacob deGrom, and he will strike out on a nice low cutter. No, it was a fastball, my apologies. 99 mile an hour fastball down below the knees, and Wheeler went after it. Bad pitch to be swinging at right about there. And the Jazz take care of the Apollos here in the top of the third very soundly. Bruce Springsteen will come back out in the bottom of the third. Jocinda Smith up first, the right-handed batting first baseman for the Jolly Jazz. Has got a 1-0 pitch on the way. Flies it out towards center. On comes Pete Wheeler, making it look easy with the grab. Plum Smuggler up next. Bruce Springsteen at 41 pitches already. A 2-0 pitch to Smuggler. He's had a good day so far. He flies it out towards right. Pretty well hit. Out goes the right fielder, though. Pablo calls off Pete Wheeler and makes the grab out in right field, and he tracks it down himself. So 2 men down here in the bottom of the third. Mick Shipman up next. Potentially last batter here for the Jazz. A full count pitch to Shipman, and he'll strike out swinging. Another fastball at 90 miles an hour. And Springsteen has done his fair share as an ace to keep the Apollos in it. So let's see if they can get something started against deGrom. No walks, 3 strikeouts, 39 pitches heading in to the top of the 4th inning here. deGrom looks good. deGrom looks really good. And it'll be hard to see if they can get anything started off of him. Up first is Nagasawa, and she's going to strike out on a high fastball. 99 miles an hour from Jacob deGrom, and that's strikeout number 4 for him. Stan Olofsson up next. First pitch of the at-bat, and he's going to fly it out towards right. It's well hit up against the wall. Sliding catch by the right fielder, Jameson. reaching out with one hand, makes the grab. Not sure if the slide was necessary, but the good defense by Jameson keeps that from being an extra base hit given up to Stan Olafson. Great. That's a perfect play right there from your right fielder. That's exactly what you want to see from him. Well done. Well done. And Mitch Mac 12. Thank you for the subscription with your Prime. Thank you so much, guys. If I miss any of those, please do ping me and let me know. I don't want to miss any of those if I can help it. She's the man up next against Jacob deGrom here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 men down. An 0-2 pitch on the way. And that was a bad pitch, and we all knew it. But you can't resist a 96-mile-an-hour fastball up in your wheelhouse. She's the man, goes down swinging. And that will retire the top of the 4th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Springsteen still pitching, and should be still pitching, for the adorable Apollos. CJ Crone up first here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Springsteen pitching to him. 1-2 pitch on the way. Gets him to strike out with the cutter. A nice pitch at 88 miles an hour. So the movement on the cutter definitely being in Springsteen's favor at this point, as that is strikeout number 4, matching deGrom. I think deGrom has 5, actually, but we'll see if he can hit 5 in this inning as well. Norman Corman up next, the very good eye-hitting second baseman switch hitter for the Jolly Jazz. Is going to be looking at the first pitch here from Springsteen. Flies it out towards right. In comes the right fielder. I believe that's Pierre out there. Makes the grab, and that will retire Corman on the first pitch. Springsteen having a good 5th or 4th inning at this point. He's settled down quite nicely, as has Jacob deGrom at this point. Pickles P. Poffenberger up next. 0 for 1 for the day so far. The third baseman of the Jolly Jazz has got a 2-1 pitch on the way. He lines it out towards center, but in comes Pete Wheeler. Makes it look easy. You're not going to get any hits off of either of these center fielders, guys. Stop hitting it there. You're just not going to get anything. I promise you that. Pete makes it look easy, and we'll head to the top of the 5th. We're going to start watching out for when Jacob deGrom's pitching speed, when his velocity starts to dip a little bit, they might look to the bullpen, but otherwise he looks very solid so far. Dean Danger up first. He had the double in the 2nd inning, I believe, off of deGrom. Here in the 5th, he's got a 1-1 pitch on the way. Slaps it over to first base, but Jacinda Smith is there, fires it over to deGrom, and that will retire Dean Danger. Joe Bowden up next. deGrom is at 49 pitches. And a 1-2 pitch on the way. Bowden smacks it towards center. Again, though, guys, you can't hit stuff to center. Buxton makes it look easy. Any other third baseman or center fielder, maybe that drops and gets a double. But Buxton just meanders over, makes it look easy, makes the play, throws it back in, and Jacob deGrom gives him the thank you nod. Jacob deGrom up against Pablo Pierre now. Last batter potentially here for the Apollos in the 5th inning. First pitch swinging out towards center. This one's going to fall, though. No center fielder is going to be able to make a little dinker like that get caught. And it'll be a 2-out single for Pierre, leaving it up to Mariana Ralph at this point. Mariana Ralph up against Jacob deGrom here in the top of the 5th. Pablo Pierre takes his lead. Plum Smuggler, not exactly the best thrower in the world. I don't know if they'll steal with Pablo. 2-2 pitch, though. Swung on and missed on the changeup. deGrom changes speed, goes to 83, gets the strikeout, ends the inning, and retires the Apollos in the 5th. Bruce Springsteen back up in the bottom of the 5th here. Jonathan Jameson up to bat first for the Jolly Jazz. He's got an 0-2 pitch on the way from Bruce, and he'll strike out. Jameson comes up empty on the 0-2 offering. Another cutter that's really doing a good job for Bruce Springsteen as he gets strikeout number 5 for the evening. 62 pitches has Bruce as he faces off against Henry Demure. A full count against the lefty coming up here. He slaps it over to shortstop. The shortstop's got it, fires it over to first base, retiring Demure. Olafson had that one played perfectly, made the good throw, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. Byron Buxton up next. It'll be interesting to see if they try to bunt again or if they have him swing away here. He's got a 1-0 pitch on the way from Springsteen. Grounds it over to third. This is going to be trouble. Here comes the throw. They get him! Had to make it perfect on the throw, but a 5-3 ground out gets Byron Buxton from the third base position. And Bowden, happy about that play right there. Well done indeed. Vidal Valor up first here in the top of the 6th inning. Jacob deGrom looking very solid so far. 6 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits, 59 pitches so far. Valor will have a full count, though, on the way, but Valor will strike out. Went after the slider down low out of the zone, a bad pitch, and deGrom gets strikeout number 7. Woo! A good pitch right there from Jacob deGrom on a full count. Pete Wheeler up next. He'll have a 2-2 pitch on the way. He's going to smack it down the left field line. This could be trouble. Around first comes Pete, holding up at first base, though, as the left fielder gets it back in as quickly as possible. And that will put Pete Wheeler over at first. You guys know what happens now, too. Plum Smuggler, I'm so sorry, but I do not expect you to catch Pete Wheeler if he tries to run. I do not expect it at all. First pitch on the way, off goes Pete Wheeler, down comes the throw, in goes Pete Wheeler, and no duh, he's safe. What were we expecting? Oh, good grief. Pete Wheeler takes second base in the first pitch of Debbie Nagasawa's at bat. And Debbie will have an 0-1 pitch with Pete at second base in scoring position now. The third time deGrom has had runners in scoring position. The Apollos got a runner on second base, 1 man down. Debbie Nagasawa's got a full count on the way, drives it out towards left. This is a problem. It's gone. A home run for Debbie Nagasawa. deGrom was worried about Pete, but should have been worried about the hitter. 381 feet, and the Jazz lose the lead as the Apollos take a just sounding 2-1 lead on the 2-run homer by Nagasawa. Great job right there to be able to put pressure on deGrom, and he made one bad pitch, and Nagasawa made him pay for it. Stan Olafson up next. deGrom not happy with that last at-bat. He's had a rough inning so far, up to 80 pitches. He'll have a 1-1 pitch on the way to Olafson. Over to shortstop it goes, over to first with the throw, and that will retire Olafson. Cheese the Man is up next. This is going to be interesting to see if deGrom can at least bounce back and retain focus. He's got a 1-2 pitch on the way to Cheese. And he gets him swinging. Another strikeout for deGrom. That's 8. He huffs and puffs off the mound after giving up the 2-run homer to Nagasawa. Pete Wheeler putting the pressure on with the runner on second base after the steal. And the Apollos jump out in front, 2-1. Bruce Springsteen back on the mound, Jocinda Smith, and then Plum Smuggler up here first for the Jolly Jazz here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And I agree, the offense is going to be big throughout the season. We'll see if the Apollos can keep the pressure on pitching staffs, especially people like Jacob deGrom, because if he has one bad day like this where his offense, where the Jazz offense just doesn't get started, every single start is important, guys. There's only 18 games. You got to be good every single day out. Bruce Springsteen has a 1-1 pitch on the way to Jocinda Smith. Out towards right field it goes. Pablo Pierre ranging to his right. Comes back to his left a little bit. Makes the grab and retires Jocinda Smith. Plum Smuggler is up next. The contact-oriented person had a hit in the bottom of the first, scoring a run. That was a single over Bowden's head. He's got a full count pitch on the way and strikes out. Another strikeout for Springsteen, who has been fantastic so far in this game. 6 strikeouts, 5 2/3 of an innings pitched, 80 pitches. Might not go as long as deGrom, but definitely out-dueling the ace of the Jazz. A full count pitch is lobbled over to first base, I'll call it, and that'll be a first base covering out on the ground out there. That retires the side for the Jazz, and we'll head to the top of the 7th. Springsteen and the Apollos take the 2-1 lead as we head towards the break. Woo! Jacob deGrom has got 87 pitches here heading into the top of the 7th. He'll be facing off against Danger, Bowden, and Pierre. 0-2 pitch on the way. And he gets him called on a strike 3. I thought that was a little up and a little in, but Danger also thought it was a little up and in. But strike 3 is called as deGrom gets him with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. deGrom raring back, wanting to get back to his normal form after the rough last inning. Joe Bowden, 1-2 pitch on the way from deGrom, and he strikes out with the changeup. deGrom has 10 strikeouts for deGrom at this point, as he now has Pablo Pierre. Could strike out the side, but first pitch swinging is Pierre out towards left center field. Left fielder looks like he's going to be calling off Byron Buxton, makes the grab, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Jacob deGrom. All right, let's get back to it. Bottom of the 7th we go. And yes, DishNet is live. So if you guys are looking for the weekly showdown, go on over to DishNet's channel. Please do watch the weekly showdown for perfect team-related content. CJ Cron is up first here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Jolly Jazz have got to get something started, or they're going to be looking at a deficit heading into closer position. That was water. Yes, I have a bad throat, so unfortunately my vocal cords need all the water they can get. And there is the raid from the FKN Commish LB channel. Welcome everybody from the Fluffy Kitty Ninjas show. I hope you guys had a fun time finishing up your playoffs. I believe it was championships rounds, correct? You guys are just in time to see our opening day matchup of the day. Jacob deGrom and the Jolly Jazz are up against Bruce Springsteen and the Adorable Apollos. And at this point, the only thing I can explain is that Jacob deGrom blinked first. Jacob deGrom has blinked first and given up a 2-run homer to Debbie Nagasawa in the top of the 6th inning with Pete Wheeler on second. And that has been the ball game outside of a Byron Buxton bunt, steal, and then a single. Scored Buxton in the first. So Springsteen working here in the bottom of the 7th up against CJ Cron. Grounded through the hole on the left side, and that'll be a leadoff single for CJ Cron. Cron takes the wide turn, but will settle for the single. Let's see if they want to pinch run. They're not going to. All right. Chances for the Jolly Jazz at this point to get something started here in the bottom of the 7th after our stretch. And Norman Corman up next with a runner on first base. He's going to have a 2-2 pitch on the way. Over to first base it goes, over to second. They're not going to get the turn, unfortunately. The second time they've had a fielder's choice, so they're being able to keep the double plays away, but you kind of were hoping to move the runner over right there, get him into scoring position, and give Pickles and Jonathan Jameson good chances to drive him in. Springsteen at 93 pitches up against the switch-hitting Poffenberger at this point. The third baseman for the Jolly Jazz has some pretty good pop at this point. Full count pitch on the way, and he looks at strike 3. Watches strike 3 go by, and that'll be the second out of the inning. So the Jolly Jazz are not doing well as they give away outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Jonathan Jameson, their last hope with the runner on first base. Norman Corman takes his lead. Springsteen, 99 pitches. Probably his last batter right here. The 1-1 pitch is lined out to right, but a good play by the right fielder, Pablo Pierre, makes the diving catch, saving the extra base hit. Probably would have been a hard play, resulting in potentially a run-scoring double right there, and a huge play for the Adorable Apollos to end the inning. We have had some amazing plays in the outfield to keep this game as low-scoring as it has been. Jacob deGrom at 96 pitches out to pitch here in the top of the 8th inning. He has 10 10 strikeouts at this point. He'll be up against Mariana Ralph, the number 9 hitter for the... and he plunked her. That hits Ralph. DeGrom just kind of lost control of that one, unfortunately. Ralph will take first base ahead of Vidal Valor and the top of the order for the adorable Apollos. Vidal Valor up, and that actually is going to be it for Jacob DeGrom. He will go 7 innings. He was solid through 7, made one bad pitch, and it costs him. Colleen Klinker will be coming in to replace Jacob DeGrom. Not as good on the movement and control, but still about as good on the stuff and the velocity right up there. Vidal Valor steps in, runner on first base, no men down, and the 2-1 pitch is going to be bunted over to first base at the sacrifice bunt. They will go to first, and that will be the runner advanced over towards second. So the Apollos play small ball ahead of Pete Wheeler. Pete Wheeler's got the amazing ability to bunt for a hit and the speed for days. Absolutely speed for days. Let's see what can happen right about here. This is a good matchup between him and Colleen Klinker. Hold on 1 second. My throat wants to threaten to cough. Colleen Klinker, 4 pitches here. Runner on second base takes their lead. Mariana Ralph's over there. And they will intentionally walk Pete Wheeler. That is probably the best choice. I mean, I don't like the idea that you have to go up against Nagasawa again with a very extra base hit prone pitcher, but at the same time, you do want the force, and you're hoping and praying you can get Pete Wheeler out at second base. Somehow, some way, you have to get the double play here. Debbie Nagasawa, the pull-hitting number 3 hitter for the Apollos, already has the 2-run homer at this point. Colleen Klinker with 1 man down, first pitch on the way, and that's going to be high and deep to left, but it's mostly just high and not so much deep. Shipman makes the catch, and that'll be the second out of the innings. So Nagasawa gets under the first pitch she sees and flies out. Stan Olafson up next. 2 men down, 2 on here in the top of the 8th. Chance for the Apollos to be able to get some more runs. Yeah, it was just too high. It was mostly high. Not very deep, mostly just very high. Stan Olafson has a 3-1 pitch on the way, and he will walk. Klinker misses with the fastball in. That will load the bases for Cheese the Man, the DH power hitter for the adorable Apollos. The left-handed batting hitter at this point. Also switch, I believe, actually. Switch hitting power hitter for the adorable Apollos comes up next. Bases loaded, 2 men down. A big moment right here for the Jazz. Will they make it or will they break it? A 1-2 pitch on the way, and he strikes out. It was either going to be a homer or a strikeout. That was the only results for that at-bat right there. And the strikeout is the result. The Apollos threaten, but they don't get anything. Bruce managed to go 7 innings as he is officially replaced right now by Todd Xavier, the closer for the adorable Apollos. So Todd Frazier expected to go 2 innings at this point. Bruce Springsteen had a very solid performance, out-pitching Jacob DeGrom as his team takes the 2-1 lead into the bottom of the 8th. Let's see if Todd Xavier can keep the lead going. Damour up first here in the bottom of the 8th. He will slice it over to third baseman, but a good grab right there by Bowden. Nicely done as he grabs the line drive by Damour. First out of the inning. There's the cough that I was coming. Byron Buxton up next. Good chance to see Byron bunt again. Let's see if they can repeat the first inning. Buxton first pitch. Slaps it over to the gap in the shortstop position. Shortstop makes the throw and gets him out. The second time that Buxton has been retired on ground balls that were weakly hit. Buxton just not fast enough. Bowden has made him out, and now Olafson makes him out on a ground ball play. Wow, I was for sure that he was going to make that right there and beat out that infield single. So, very surprising that Buxton gets called out on that play right there. And Stan Olofsson gets a round of applause from his infield. Jocinda Smith has the last chance here in the bottom of the 8th. At least they'll have their sluggers up in the bottom of the 9th at least. But Jocinda Smith would love to get on base here ahead of their sluggers. She'll have a 2-2 pitch on the way. Flies it out to right. In comes Pablo Pierre. Makes another great play. How is the defense this good, guys? Pablo Pierre makes a great play over in right. And the Apollos have to go back to their, the Jazz have to go back to their dugout empty-handed in the 8th. Well done all around. The defense has been superb today, guys. Both teams have brought their A game on the defensive end. Colleen Clinker is still pitching here in the top of the 9th. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not. I would have brought in your closer right here. We'll see how far they go with Clinker. At least they don't have too many power hitters coming up, but we'll see about that. First up is going to be Dean Danger here in the top of the 9th inning. 2-0 count on the way. He flies it out towards center. Again, this is Buxton territory, so there's definitely no chance he drops that. And that's going to be a plenty of time. Buxton center field, fly ball out. Joe Bowden up next. Again, no power here from these guys, so not as much of a risk against Colleen Clinker at this point. And the first pitch swinging against Clinker. Out towards center it goes. That might fall, though. It is going to fall. A single for the, who was that? That was the third baseman, Bowden, of the Apollos. Puts him on first base in front of Pablo Pierre. Chance for the adorable Apollos to make some more noise here in the top of the 9th. One man down. And the Jazz have a runner, the Jazz have to go against the runner on first base with Pablo Pierre up to bat. Colleen Clinker has the 1-2 pitch, and he running on the pitch is the runner, and he will take second base. Bowden sneaks into second base with a stolen base off of Plum Smuggler. And Colleen Clinker a little bit upset. His 80-hole runners, normally very good at being able to prevent stolen bases, but Smuggler just couldn't get the ball down and over fast enough to second base. And Bowden with the risky call to take a bag, but it pays off as they now have a runner on second base with one man down and a 2-2 pitch on the way to Pablo Pierre. And he gets him with the slider. Colleen Clinker strikes out Pablo Pierre, leaving it up to Mariana Ralph with the runner in scoring position. Still a chance for the adorable Apollos here to score a run. They would love this insurance run right about here. Bowden takes his lead over at second. Colleen Clinker has got 23 pitches. The 1-1 pitch to Ralph. Over to third base it goes. Over with the throw. And that will retire the side. Poffenberger made it look easy. That retires the adorable Apollos here in the top of the 9th. We'll head to the last 3 batters potentially. Last 3 outs for the Jolly Jazz to be able to come back in this game. Todd Xavier, the closer for the Apollo, still pitching here in the bottom of the 9th inning. We will be seeing Smuggler, Shipman, and Cron. First up to bat is Plum Smuggler. Good chance to be able to get on base if he can get something that he likes here from Todd Xavier. But the 0-2 pitch is on the way. Rounded over to the second baseman. That will retire Plum Smuggler. One man down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. A chance for DeGrom to watch his team lose on opening day 2-1. It would be a shocker. Is my mic a little bit too hot? I know it's cutting a little bit too loud, so hopefully it's not too loud. But anywho, Mark Shipman is up next at this point. Oh, it looked great. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, that's why I bought it, for the aesthetics. It's also good quality, but I wanted a mic that looked like it was for sports, because I am a sports person, so yeah. All right, Todd Xavier up against Shipman here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and he gets him to strike out. Good at bat right there for Todd Xavier to get him on the 0-2 pitch. And they're trying to get the crowd up and wild here in the bottom of the 9th as we have one more batter, potentially. C.J. Crone is the last potential hitter here for the Jolly Jazz as the crowd trying to get back into it. A 1-2 pitch from Xavier. And he strikes out. The adorable Apollos will take opening day over the Jolly Jazz 2-1. Wow. Woo! I am very surprised that the adorable Apollos take this victory 2-1. Although, to be honest, you have a great aces pitching matchup between Springsteen and Jacob deGrom. Both pitchers pitched their hearts out, but Jacob deGrom blinked the one time to Nagasawa, and that was it. That was all it took. The Apollos ride their 2-run 6th inning to a 2-1 victory over the Jolly Jazz. Both teams played impeccable baseball with stolen bases on both sides, amazing defense on both sides, no errors what to speak of. And outside of maybe you could say the one-hit batsman from deGrom and a couple of, maybe the catchers aren't doing their job with the throwing out of base runners, flawless baseball right about there, folks. A very solid performance from both clubs. Very, very happy that this game went exactly the way it did. This is a prime example that these 18 games, guys, are going to be something special. Because this is now officially, what is this technically? This is about 11% of deGrom's starts in one game. If he has 3 games like this, that's a third of his starts. You do not want to see a good quality start like this wasted. So, for the Jazz, this is a dagger to not the heart, I would say it's to, the ankle. This is not a good start. This is not what you wanted. This is not a good sign as you head into the beginning of the regular season to go down to the Jolly Jazz with your ace, #1 overall pick starter doing his job, but still losing 2-1. All right. So, with this done, and knowing that Dish is already started, we will actually end early right here. We will save day 2, which is going to be the Wednesday games. Or is this the Thursday games? Thursday games. Day 2 of week #1. We will not watch, but we will live simulate tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching the stream. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the subscriptions and all the follows and everything, guys. We will go ahead and chuck you all over to DishNet's stream so that way you guys can go enjoy the weekly showdown. And we will be back on the OOTP channel tomorrow with more of the Backyard Project. So let me go ahead and get you guys all set up to go over to DishNet at this point. We will continue with day 2 tomorrow, and for now, we are going to go raid DishNet, if I can. Let me see if I can, because I know the last time I tried this, it would not let me. Perfect, there we go. All right, so thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. Show the scores one more time. All right, hold on, one more time, really fast. These scores. So while we get everyone prepped for the weekly showdown, the scores for opening day. The Coyotes beat the Squirrels 2-1. The Goats destroyed the Frogs 5-0. The Astounding Armadillos outlasted the Kind Koalas 8-5. The Ducks took down the Cluckers in the 9th inning comeback victory 4-3. The Graceful Giants absolutely just took care of the Nobles 3-0 on a shared shutout. The Nimble Ninjas were outlasted by the Pleasant Pioneers, who scored 4 runs in the 5th to take the shared shutout victory over the Ninjas. The Angry Admirals did a good whooping on the Clobbering Cacti, 5-2 with 4 home runs, by the way. The Rebellious Reapers took care of the Woody Whistlers 6-3. The Knockout Kings lost to the Courageous Captains 3-2 after they tried to come back in the 9th inning with the solo homer from the Best Dinosaur. And then our game of the day was the Adorable Apollos taking down the Jolly Jazz 2-1. Bruce Springsteen out pitching Jacob deGrom. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll go ahead and get us all over into the DishNet channel.